Hello and welcome to Bunkhouse Gaming. I'm back on This Is the Police, and well, I think it's fair to say I'm quite quickly making my way towards my $500,000 target. I imagine something will crop up soon to stop me from reaching that sometime soon, but let's see how it goes. So every other day it's a different excuse, but as it's charity. Aaron Huber turned out to be a member of the gang known as The Church. He could help you take down the gang if you make him an informant. Yes, knew it. Okay, so medical information. He was born with a partial hearing impairment, which, due to aggressive and intensive treatment, has gone into an increased hearing sensitivity. As a result of a difficult childhood and harsh living conditions, he suffers from panic attacks and has serious psychological problems with heat tolerance. I guess that's if I need to go down the torch route, which I'm hoping to avoid. Additional info. Born in Perchtoldsdorf, Austria, at the age of 8, he and his mother escaped from his father, who had been raping him for the past 3 years. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree then. For the next 6 years, he lived in appalling conditions in the attic of an old house. He was hospitalized several times for serious complications due to heat stroke. When he was 15 years old, his mother got back on her feet and started making enough money to move them into a small house. Nevertheless, his school counsellors noted that Aaron Huber was a quiet child, an outcast, overlooked by his peers, especially the girls. At age 18, he enlisted in the army, where he became interested in religion. After the service, he entered a Catholic seminary. That would be if he took a wrong turn. He entered a Catholic seminary and decided to devote himself to the church. At 28, he became a priest, but he almost lost everything when a demonstration that he organised, Drugs Are Satan's Doorway, ended in a brawl and then in a mass arrest. So he's heavily against drugs apparently, yet the church and the bishop that he works for sells drugs? So you like little boys? This is how your parents taught you to treat children? Which did. I myself am a very religious man and hate all these stereotypes. You're not really a paedophile, are you? I'm not sure what route to go down for this. Ah, what? How did you know that? God save me. So you had a thing going on with your mother, right? So it was your father instilled you in such a strong love for little boys? Maybe you can think of some people who hate you so bad that they'd plant these discs. Nah, so it's that one. Please, I don't want to talk about this. So what do you want to talk about? Maybe you can think of something we'd like to hear, and maybe you won't go to prison and suffer the same fate as your victims. Yes, I have sinned, and I will answer before God, but you don't need me. What's happening at the church is far darker. They're building a gateway to the devil. Drugs. I don't know much, but Father Joseph Costello is involved somehow. At night, Joseph Costello quietly brings drugs into the church and hides them inside. I'll tell you everything I know.
In progress.
Oh no! That's 45k gone out the window.
Night testing in progress.
Another armed robbery.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Shit.
Night testing completion.
$250. Oh, but it's at Acker's Tower, so I might actually let that one go. Yeah, go on.
We've got a situation here.
The armoured truck was lying on its side, smoke rising from it. Nearby is a black Jeep with no plates, which two robbers are loading with money. Send a bullet through the Jeep's front wheel. Drop your weapons, he's surrounded. Ram the Jeep with a patrol car. No, that won't come off very well. Wheel. The robbers fire as they retreat down an alley and throw a grenade towards the cops. Hide behind the patrol car. Chase the patrol car. It turned out to be a smoke grenade. Meanwhile, criminals have jumped out onto the road, jacked an old pickup truck, and they're trying to get away. Yeah, let's go for that one.
412A in progress.
Yeah. Oh look, I get to sell money again.
1411
Oh.
in
I was
progress.
trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Jack Boyd, a common acquaintance, told me that you'd be a reasonable man who can be relied upon for help. I need to load 4 luxury cars at the port, and to be very frank, they're stolen. Last time my boys got picked up, and a very big player didn't get his shipment. This time it has to go as smoothly as possible. Cops in the driver's seat would help make that happen. Sorry.
In progress. 311 complete.
Excellent. Don't think they're going to be back in time for that though.
Complete.
Jack, some hellraisers set fire to our warehouse. Send in a couple of police, control the situation. No. They don't have anybody to send. You got a problem, take it up with the mayor.
215 in progress.
Sir, Norlander suddenly turned into a self-righteous pussy and started whining, saying, "This is wrong with the police." He wasn't just fucking up the deal, he was going to arrest everybody. We had to shut him up. Well, you know, don't worry. It was all done quiet and smooth. Despite the trouble with our colleague, Mr. Cheng was very pleased. Shit, you killed him. Wasn't expecting that.
We've got a situation here.
There are men and women fighting along the narrow hallway, and they're starting to pick up chairs. Could I see the doctor for a second? I need to ask him something. Lower the chairs, grab the loudest person in the crowd and arrest him.
311 complete.
That was easy.
In progress.
Got a riot. I imagine I'm going to need some backup for that one.
215 complete.
I wonder if does the game end when I hit 500,000, or do I have to keep at least 500,000 until I hit 180 days? I imagine probably the latter.
Looks like we have a situation here.
The apartment is filled with smoke and the walls covered in soot. In the centre of the room stands a man in a dirty white coat, and around him are scattered odd pieces of complicated device. Seeing the police, the man begins to explain incoherently that he's almost finished work on his elixir of youth, and he just needs a little more time. Arrest him and take him over to the police station, open the window. Oh yes, that sounds important. You need the help of the Freeburg police?
1010 complete.
I mean, what do I do in Norlander?
Mr. Boyd, Kevin Paulson is here. He wants to talk.
Kevin Paulson. Tell him to fuck off. Jack Boyd, Super Cop.
Why the $500,000, Jack? Why?
Lana, what happened?
Does this sum have some kind of special meaning?
Lana, I don't know who told you about the $500,000, but it's much more complicated than you think.
Oh, it's complicated, all right. It took me an hour to go over all the documents. There's even a few pictures and a lot of answers. Except for one thing. Why $500,000?
What documents? How did you get them? What's in them?
I think you know very well what's in them, and the one who sent them is obviously a big fan of your criminal talents. He even has a cute name for you, Cupcake.
Remember when you told me how you're always surrounded by old men? I'm the opposite. I'm surrounded by children, 9-year-old boys. From their first day of work, they gather in the smoking lounge telling jokes about what they'll do when they loot their first million. But it's more than just innocent jokes. It's quickly becoming a reality. They themselves are surprised how quickly everything happens. They buy their own houses, they buy a car, they get promoted. The first million is soon followed by a second, a third, a fifth. Like children, they have no idea what they're getting into. But I'm not like that, Lana. I'm not like them.
You're saying you're not like them because you're only stealing $500,000?
I only meant
You know, Jack, I'm done worrying about people not taking me seriously. They'll know I mean business when my first act as public prosecutor is throwing the city's former police chief in prison.
Lana, you can't just read over some papers like this and... I told you not to let him in!
I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd. I tried to stop him, but you know...
Lana, we need to talk.
Jack, you're so amazingly patient with people. After all the confusion over the past months, all the humiliations, it's really quite admirable. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. I gotta admit, I'm not nearly so patient.
Send someone in here. Now!
I've been thinking, Jack. When I take your place, I'll have a lot of opportunities. For example, I could arrest you. You know it wouldn't be hard to find a reason. You obviously don't want that, right? I don't want that either. Given your reputation, arresting you would make me very unpopular. And if we both don't want that, let's find a way out. My suggestion is you retire tomorrow. And I promise I'll let you leave in peace. I swear, Jack, if you...
Mr. Boyd, there's a call on line 2. Mr. Boyd, you really have to take this call.
Boyd!
Jack, it's me.
Oh.
Laura,
Jack, I don't know what you wanted to say to me, but please, just say it. Jack, I'm hanging up the phone.
Laura, you... Oh, my God. Laura. Hey, you remember years ago? So many years I've lost track, but do you remember when Dylan was down with the chicken pox and he couldn't sleep? We kept him occupied until he passed out, and then we went downstairs, sat on the floor, opened a bottle of wine. Who could blame us? Well, we sat on the floor and opened our bills and joked about how poor we were. Remember? And then I jokingly asked if I'd be your hero if I made $1 million. And you sat there lost in thought like you needed to seriously think about the answer. You were quiet for a while, and then you laughed and said that I'd be your hero even if I only made $500,000.
Oh.
Do you remember, Laura?
Jack,
Do you remember?
Honestly, Jack, no, I don't remember.
You don't remember? But that was...
Jack, you've been chasing me down for so long to talk with me. For this? That's all you wanted to tell me?
How can you not remember? It's important, Laura. It's important.
Goodbye, Jack.
Shit. Yeah, don't blame me.
Mr. Boyd, are you all right?
Don't do it, Jack.
Mr. Boyd?
Wait. What's the difference? I hope I don't do as bad as I did last time on this weird thing. One player mode or single player mode? So it has to be in a line. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so it's obviously not intended of you to win that after the first round. Oh, I lost a lot of days.
Yes, you caught me again. And again, I promise this is the last time. And now you say again that I've said it all before, but I'm...
Jack Boyd is awake.
Jack Boyd? He opened his eyes? He can talk?
Talking? Yes. More like yelling, trying to escape from his room, brawling with the nurses.
Good heavens, he's a tough son of a bitch.
Jack! Lord, were you already discharged from the hospital? I thought you might be down a couple of days or even...
Jesus.
Emma, get me the mayor. Emma, please call the mayor of Freeburg, Stuart Rogers.
Three 114. Connect. It's urgent.
This is Jack Boyd.
Jack, you've got to take better care of yourself. How's your...
I'm Freeburg's police chief. I came to work. Stop trying to get in my way.
Someone causing you trouble? We just wanted to make sure somebody was holding down the fort while you were recovering. But don't worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything tomorrow morning. You won't be running into Paulson again.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I'm glad we understand each other. Tell Martin Stett to call me.
What? You don't know? Lieutenant Stett went missing about 2 weeks ago.
Oh. God.
Oh, fuck my life.
Say that card didn't last long.
I suppose Freeburg's mayoral election is just a play with a predictable ending. But I'll take my place on the stage, if only to show them that the people will find a way to support those who want change, even in a city where everything is controlled by a corrupt mayor. The crooks can falsify the voting results, they can arrest us and beat us, but they cannot silence us. And today, for the first time in many years, we have a chance to make them fear us.
While acknowledging that he himself is the mysterious Robespierre, Eugene Chaffee has also promised that he will accept any punishment for the crimes committed by him and his supporters for minor offenses and street hooliganism. But, in his words, not before the city authorities are held responsible for the dead in our streets and the millions they've stolen. Eugene Chaffee went on to say that this is the worst time.
Oh, God. So I have 2 people. I'm going to hold on to that one. Today marks the beginning of the great political struggle here in Freiburg. The people, including the cops, will have to decide who to support. Some will remain loyal to Mayor Rogers, but Robespierre already has a following of his own. Don't expect officers from both camps to work effectively together. If you send them out on an assignment, unfortunately we can't ask our employees outright about their political views, but maybe there's another way to get this information. So I need a snitch. Oh yeah, I've lost 2 people from here. Oh, well, one of them was made to disappear, I guess. So I need 3 on A and 2 on so A, B, A, B.
212 in progress.
I don't even know why I looked. I can't send anybody.
Complete. 415 in progress. 1210 complete.
The recent crime wave has the press talking, and all we can point to is a lot of crappy police work. Send one of your men to go talk to the journalists. Tell them that rank and file officers assure the people of Freiburg there's no need to worry.
Progress.
Jesus.
Looks like we have a situation here.
She's pounding a bowl on the bars of the cage, shouting, "Mishka, wake up and eat the bastard." Miss, open the cage immediately, try and squeeze through the bars of the cage, arrest the woman. She spots the police and swallows the key to the cage. The bear is standing on its hind legs, approaching the guy. Use taser. Should have shot the bear. I was trying to, like, save the bear. I can't do that. Jack, your overall state of health is very worrying. You need to cut down your hours as soon as possible. Okay, let's have a see. The Pusher. Joseph Costello stays late at the church, brings in the goods and stashes them. The drugs are packed in small coloured bags and hidden at the bottom of wine boxes, fresh from the bishop's vineyards. cargo is delivered in white jeeps. You can spot them by the church, cross painted on the hood. The boxes are carried into the church by the drivers. Don't have that one yet. Joseph Costello hides the drugs in a stash which is located in the library behind one of the bookshelves. There are only blue books on this shelf. So I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong. I guess. I mean, this has been somewhat lenient on me that there was only a handful of crimes going on. Rogers is responsible for Freeburg PD breakdown. Yeah. Displeased with the police department. Ooh. I've got a few more officers this time at least. Mr. Boyd, I'm trying to settle a small problem. My deputy, Paul Higgins, has unearthed some papers that could potentially hurt my career. He's threatened to go public in the coming days. Apparently he expects me to turn myself in. It's no trouble for me to deal with this traitor, but I need to buy some time. Could you please send a squad of officers to our office? Act like you're performing a search. Maybe even pretend to arrest me. Then Higgins will think the issue resolved and he'll let down his guard. Then I'll stab him in the spine. Sound fair enough? No. I mean, there's no time limit on that one.
412.
I guess the end result's going to be that you shift all political views on one side and the others on the other side. Mr. Boyd, I wanted to arrange a holiday for the faithful of our city, with popular Christian music to attract the young people. I invited a Christian rock group, the Freeburg Brothers in Christ. They're supposed to be the perfect role models for young people around the world. At first everything went fine. They came and behaved very nicely, as befits humble men singing praises to the Lord. But on the day of the concert it came out that their lead singer overdosed on cocaine and whiskey, while the other members of the group were staging an orgy with male prostitutes. I cancelled the concert and demanded that the musicians return their fee, but they told me to go to hell. The Lord wants you to deal with these worthless hypocrites. Let them know we won't suffer false prophets lightly. I might actually do that one, because technically it's theft.
412.
Oh, shit.
In progress. 911 in progress.
Well, no, I can't do that one because I've only got 4 people.
We've got a situation here.
There was no mention of her having a gun. When she spotted the police, the naked woman ran up to an officer, kissed him on the lips, and then snatched his service weapon. Okay. Stole my gun. Oh, my officer's gun. Knocked the weapon out of her hands and put her face in the dirt. Strike the woman, grab the woman, demand a second kiss. That won't.
214 complete.
Okay, let's open up. So he brings them in. So they're at the bottom of the wine box. He's taking the wine out. They're at the bottom. Sorry. The drivers bring them in. He unloads. They're at the bottom. Blue books. Behind one of the bookshelves. It's the same baggies. And so either this is there or there. Maybe at the start then. There we go. Let's go there. No, I can't.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hot Spot.
Tree.
510.
Well, solved an investigation but couldn't do anything about it. Okay, folks. I was half expecting another time skip might happen, considering I wasn't that far into the hundreds. I'm nearly at my 500,000. So I think I'm basically left with about 24 days, about like 3 weeks. There's an awful lot of crows. Yeah, so I'm left with about 3 weeks to get my last few thousand, sorry, and keep it. Which, by the amount I'm getting off the sweet shop owner, should be okay. It's just if it springs any surprises up for me unexpectedly, that'll prevent me from keeping all of it. The only other thing I've got to worry about is how the hell I find out the political motivations, because I can't hire a snitch at the minute. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.